TY go ahead. Hello.
I am here early for the Tao Net A. Checking in.
Okay, 1 minute early, still good. So, attention, attention, attention. This is the Tao Net A of the day. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign. This is your net controller, TY9YUE. Tango Yankee 9, Yankee Uniform Echo, Echo, Echo. Woohoo!
TY2GAP, Tango Yankee to Golf Alpha Papa.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Okay, anyone else want to check in?
This is TY2CAG, Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, very good. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Tango Yankee 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, let's begin. So today, before we begin talking about the other things, well, I would like to mention that since you all are familiar with the phonetics already, when you check in, you can just use that and don't need to say like TY2GAP, Tango Yankee 2, like that. You just say Tango Yankee 2, Golf Alpha Papa, and I will know who you are. Okay? So you don't need to repeat your name like 2 times like that. Okay? So just say the phonetics. Like you go by pure phonetics, or if we're like, casual or quick, we just say the alphabet. So choose one way. So for now, for the nets, we call them like the official times. We will use phonetics. So that will be a good way to practice and get used to the phonetics. Also, when we're doing emergency calls, it is a good idea to use phonetics because it's longer and you need to like drag the message 30 seconds. So if you go like TY2GAP, and that's like 3 seconds. But if you go like Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa, Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa, that is like a lot of seconds, right? So it's like that. Okay, and also a little tip here. When people say their phonetics, especially from my experience in ham radio, there are people who will be like, Tango Yankee 2, Golf Alpha Papa, like really fast, and then it's like you get used to it and it gets really, really annoying. Everyone hate that, but people don't get it. They think that, I have to get my call sign out there quickly. So when I press the mic, I have to go like, Tango Yankee 2 Charlie Hotel Golf. Right? Eventually, you will feel the need to speed up. And, when you go that way, it's time to change. Because no one like that, no one hears you, and it is not good. So the type of, like the speed that is most optimal is like you copy how those, the repeater will announce their call sign for the repeaters. They have like automatic messages. So if you're like using a repeater with the ham radio, like it's like a server, right? Other people host it and you can use it. So once you're on there, they every like 10 minutes or something, they have to announce the repeater call sign. So they will be having something like this. This is VA3RTC repeater. Like that, right? And it's very clear. Like it sounds really funny, but it's actually really clear. And everyone liked that because it's very easy to hear and it doesn't make you like, huh, what the hell? Like that. So if I'm doing mine, I will be like, TY9YUE. It's like, okay, Tango Yankee 9 Yankee Uniform Echo, like that. And it's kind of choppy, break up, but it works. And for people who are trying to jot down your name, it's much easier to hear. Okay, so when it's your turn, you can take the time to do a practice, see how you can say your call sign. So yeah, and also when you're handing the mic to other people, usually like during the net is fine. You're like, oh, back to you or back to net controller. But normal time when people are like talking on the ham radio, right? Usually they will end the message with saying the other person call sign and then your own call sign. So that way it's kind of like you're handing the mic back to that person. And also the casual way is you just sign off with your own call sign. That will also do the job. Okay, so it's up to you. So let's hand the mic to Tango Yankee for Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tango Yankee 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Signing in seems to be intuitive to me. I try to watch how fast I'm saying my call signs. And I've been watching a lot of the, I guess maybe too much. Maybe I'm watching it too much. But there seems to be a lot of, this weekend anyway, a lot of protests and marches and things going on here. It kind of makes me take notice of it because we're not really operating under the right circumstances as we usually do. I mean, I'm not upset. I'm not necessarily afraid. I'm not going to pack my bags and leave the country tomorrow. But I'm concerned because these things can end up at your door. And knowing as a Taoist that we do have protections in place, but we do need to be prepared in case, and I don't want to be an alarmist, but I do want to have the right mindset and being cautious and watching what's happening around me. I don't really know my neighbors all that well. The one that I did know, sort of, he's moved away, and the other one is kind of quiet, and I don't know any of the other ones around me to the back or to the front. So I guess I'm just wanting to hear what other people are experiencing, if they have or if there are plans, if there were something that were to pop off, what would we have as a contingency plan? What would our lineage have in place? Are we able to run somewhere? Or are we just going to have stuff happen and we just got to go radio silent and that's it? That's too bad. See you later. People burning down your house, you got to run away. Or some people pull up in some vans and you got to get in. You got to go. What do we have? TY4 HAA, Tango Yankee 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Again, when you sign off, you can just choose one way. So on the net, we just go with the phonetics. You don't need to go TY4 HAA. Okay, so yeah, I saw the news too. I will have to say that if those guys are at your door and they want to break in, looting and so on, well, you're like one person. Even you have a firearm with you, it's not going to do anything. There are like so many people. Imagine like 40 people going to your house at once, right? Like, what can you do? There's nothing you can do. But I would say, based on the Taoist perspective, if you have to be in that situation and get hit by a thing like that in life, that's pretty bad luck. You should not even have to see it happen if you have been doing what you have to do. Well, driving off to somewhere if you need to, well, that's an option. But for me, I would say I just don't want anything to happen at all. I mean, why would you have to have that happen, right? It doesn't have to. So it just seems scary, but what if it never happened, right? So, yeah, at least I would say the place you're living in is not as scary as Lay's place, and Lay is not worried. His place is scarier with all the thieves and stuff like that. That's even more scary. Anyway, let's pass the mic to Tango Yankee 2, Golf Alpha Papa. Hey.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Alpha Papa. Yeah, So I'll be completely honest. I think I kind of had a mindset of being prepared for something like that ever since I was young. Being raised in ideology. I think
You got cut off. Come in again. Come in again.
uh, um, Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa. Not entirely sure how much I uh, I was heard, but basically raised as a since raised as a Catholic and also exposure to a Christian church, I guess kind of always a mentality of being of just knowing that the end was on the way and that be ready to drop everything or fight for my life or whatever. Some development of my life. Much like Gay was saying earlier, that nowadays thinking too much about what's going on in the world is in not being able to do anything or contribute effectively. Kind of, if anything, created I guess I would say created a lot of heat. So much so that yeah, like created like excess stress and anxiety and just made me ineffective in my own life. Um, and since going about life these days in a way that like I try not to pay attention to the news too much because I have to focus on what's in front of me, and that is getting our life together and moving forward, and also paying enough attention to know if things were getting too crazy. But I want to say that like I have had yeah pretty decent enough luck that tragedies have come through the neighborhood or passed by close enough, and having a having when that usually did happen, I'd have like, I guess for lack of a better word, like this stillness, this internal readiness, and it seemed like enough to like just fly under the radar of all the bullshit that was happening. And I have kind of adopted a stance, especially since I have people who do count on me, that like if it ever did come through the door, I'll just be ready to take as many as I can before I'm done. I mean, that's all I can really do. I'm not entirely sure, but I always assume that having that internal commitment to kill if necessary, scared away most of the bullshit. Like maybe I'm too much trouble for looters to come fuck with. Um, Tango Yankee Alpha. Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa.
Okay, we heard everything, even you were in a windy environment, so that's good. You mentioned looking at what's in front of you. Exactly what I taught. There's a term I taught before called 观自在. It means to look at where you are at right now and what is actually important to you right now. Because your Yun San and everything that provide you power for the day can only have so much resources. And if you care so much about things that won't even happen and they're not even in your life and you thought they would be in your life, then you're wasting all that resources trying to worry for nothing, and it's not good. So things that need to be done couldn't be done, and that's exactly what you should look at. Like, look at what's in front of you, what's really important, and well, you see, with magic, you can put up stuff to like repel the yi, and these people who will do harm to you are yi. If you aren't so crappy with your magic, well, these things are not related to you. Like they're actually not like your enemy, right? Like they don't have anything to do with you. They're just, raiding anything they can see, right? So if you can repel the yi, it's already enough to say it will reduce a lot of the chance of them wanting or coming your way. and that already is like the best you can do, and you don't want to even have a chance for them to break through the door and then you fight them, because that's extremely stupid. um as a Taoist, we should know that we need to fight things in the pre-heaven before they can manifest to become reality. And if you're like all mine on like the physical prepness, well, you suck as a Taoist, because you look at things with short vision, and that's really stupid. You have to dissolve things before they even are manifested into reality, into the T8. So look heavily on how to dissolve as much as possible. Then you don't even need to see it. And then you don't need to like even, oh shit, they're coming in. What should I do? That's too late. That's already the sign telling you that you sucked as a Taoist. Your magic is not protecting you enough. So there you go. Um, Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India. Yeah, Gap and I have been of like mind on many aspects of this subject. Obviously,
You got cut off and it's windy.
oh, that's very strange. I'm not in a windy environment at all. I am in the basement, however, which again, screwy connection, so I apologize. I was simply saying that Gap and I are very like-minded in most regards on this subject. But not all of them. I'm not as martially trained or martially minded as he has been. My thought for a long time has been that I want to get off grid. I want to have space. I want to have land that is, under my own control and jurisdiction as much as possible. A really big natural buffer between us and the troubles of the outside world. And now that we are practicing this way, it makes sense to me to reinforce our boundaries as much as possible, fighting on the pre-heaven side, as you put it, to make sure that those things just have no chance to get to us. Meanwhile, though, it is pretty scary. The U.S. is a very turbulent place right now, and even more so if you're watching the news, because American news is highly fear-mongering. There are a lot of systems, companies, franchises that benefit from the burnout of extended compassion over things that we can't control, and fear over things that aren't actually anywhere near us. So just trying to keep our eyes on where we're at. Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Yeah, the news is quite toxic sometimes. Even the TikToks, they usually have like short clips of the news, and it drags you into a hole and gets you crazy. And if you don't look at that and you look back into your life, you'll see there are much more meaningful things that you should actually be focusing on, such as how could you get a better health? How could you improve your health condition? How could you eat better? And how could you make time, to do something that actually is important for yourself? So, yeah, I mean, people are stacking up on things for emergency, they say. And it's kind of funny, like talking about ham radio. A lot of people are thinking that, oh, ham radios for emergency. Yeah, they bought a radio, and then so what? Like when actually shit is happening, you know that the radio is actually quite useless because you don't know anyone. Yeah, you have a radio. Oh, cool. Who are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do with it? Who are you calling? I don't know. I just like calling to the air. No one is here to help you. The fact is, you have a radio, you make a call out there, and no one is coming. It's not a police, fire, or whatever that is like listening to your call. And even there is, well, I personally don't even trust police, so who cares? And it's like, yeah, you have a radio, it's for emergency. But you forgot the key point is you need a team of people to actually work with you that is going to like actually work, right? So in case of emergency, I'm gonna like call these people and we are like one team and they're gonna like provide me with support and things like that. Okay, that's what you need. So like let's say recently we have been going through a few emergency cases and like in the lineage, and we have been using Zello and all kinds of communication to get help, and it worked, right? But think about it. What if Sajon is not around? What if Sajon is like a sex machine and he's like always fucking every day, and then he's like, oh, his soul energy is so bad, he can't soul travel. He can't do the magic. Like it doesn't really work because he is tired, right? Like what if that? Then even you have Zello, it doesn't work, right? So as a disciple, if you're like, especially like the TY4s, you know, if you're like a guardian, you should mind your own condition even more because when you need to help, your soul condition, your health matters because your magic can like not work. When you try to send things out, it can not deliver because your soul energy is crappy, like the condition of your soul. So that is something to be mindful of. Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
This is Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. And I have also noticed the news today simply because my wife rang me this morning and where she is stationed at, apparently they attacked, Israel attacked Iran. So I'm guessing that has something to do with a lot of the movement Hasidic is probably witnessing, or maybe not. I have noticed that it's just all over the place. I'm not usually someone who pays attention to news because the news really amplifies anything that's positive, and I'm very aware of the things that I pay attention to. I like to pay attention to my energy and what is feeding into me. So I really don't pay attention to the news, to be very honest. But unfortunately, social media is kind of like the vice grip that tends to catch you even when you're scrolling and you're not really looking for information that's toxic. It just catches you. So I think that's probably why things seem to be a little shaky. And I don't necessarily plan for stuff. I think once you plan for stuff, you're kind of attracting for something to happen. What I do, I like to be very aware and vigilant of my environment. So I know all the routes to leave my location. Like the first time I came to my base location, I walked around and I looked for all the locations where I could leave, where I could walk to the quickest part to the highway. So that's something I just naturally do because I like to know my environment and have like a pack bag. I usually just keep a pack bag like by my front door or inside of my truck, just in case something happens. Like I have to go somewhere and I don't feel like changing my shirt, a toothbrush, socks, stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily call it prepping. It's just a habit I have, probably from my family. And I think Saja made a really good point about, so what if you have a radio? If shit hit the fan, doesn't mean nothing. I mean, it's the same mentality how people think, oh, something is happening, I need to call the police. No, the police is not there to save you. They are there to sweep up the bodies and maybe try to figure out and see what happened. They're not necessarily there to protect you. So you kind of have to be very mindful of your own environment, your own safety, and things that you could control. And really paying attention to the things that you can control is essential, especially for me, because I tend to hyperfixate on the things that I can't control because I want to figure out how I can control them. So it's all about mindfulness, I suppose, and especially with the teachings that Sergeant have given me. I've just amplified the tools that I have right now. Back to you. Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Ah, yeah, everyone should know your Sajon highly not trust police. With my personal experience, no, thank you. Especially the one in Toronto, they suck. Um, yeah, and also mind you all that, relating to our knowledge, your Yun Sun basically provides you what you will see in your life, like what you will encounter. It leads you to that. So it's like, um why did I happen to encounter this asshole as my husband? Why did I happen to see him and see that is like a good person to get married to? Or why did I choose to go to here? Why did I choose to do this and that? All that stuff you cannot think. Usually you just feel and do. It's because the Yunsan is guiding you. You have no way to resist it. Often it's your own like instant feeling that tells you you need to do this, and then you will do it. So if anyone like recall those situations like the 911 situation where people are like, suddenly they have to go to work, but they kind of like drag a bit, and then boom, that thing happened, and they didn't get hit. Hey, why? Your Yunsan is saving you. So it could be a very like split second moment of thing, or you just happen to do like a little thing, and then it changes everything that could happen to you in your life. So in case of whatever happened, you are supposed to rely on the Yun San, and the Yun San rely on the Tao to help you to find the best way out of any situation in your life. So thinking so much doesn't really help. If you work on that part with the Yun San, the light, then you will already be getting the best option out of whatever you can. And sometimes it's like shit happen. Like Chung said, you have to, run to somewhere. Hey, your Yunsan just gave you this idea suddenly. You did it, it worked, and will get you safe. Instead of like relying on yourself, your body, right? Why not rely on your deeper side of yourself, which is the Yunsan, right? That's part of your powers as well. Don't just focus on the physical world. Tango Yankee 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Tango Yankee 2 Kilo Alpha India. Not to greet everybody in the net. To my side, something I wish to share briefly about the case that I'm facing. There was I did made a phone call today looking for a lawyer. The place that I called, it was a law clinic of Stellenbosch. They said they, they are willing to provide me the services, but I must bring them the payslip, two payslips. I mean, like three, but I only have two because I'm only 2 months in this job. So, but I did phone them. They that couldn't get hold of them just to confirm if they're gonna accept the two pay slips that are in my possession. But I couldn't get hold of them. I'm gonna check maybe next week just to find out about the situation. And the second thing that I need to share. Yesterday, I went to visit my mother's place. There was something that I was looking for. That thing it was the phone number, but they were there. I parked my car there by my mother's place. When I got there, before I left, I hear my mother call me. She was sharing the information. She asked me like, "Did you call your father?" I mean, like the biological father that staying by his house. Uh, I said no. He said you must call him immediately because that thing that you were hearing on the news about the bad weather that is happening there in Eastern Cape, it's part of the area that he is staying. So I did phone. I think I was on my way to my place that time. My phone. I got hold of him, and it was confirmed that he was affected by this situation. Fortunately, he survived, but most people died in that there was a storm it was a stormy weather, and we're talking about it the whole week on the news. But I wasn't aware he was part of the because I'm not really sure where exactly his place where he's staying. My mother knows about this thing better than me. That's why I hear it from him. And obviously, luckily, I did find him on the phone. He was talking to me, but I ran out of airtime. He was telling me the whole story that.
You got cut off?
Oh, I'm not sure where I was cut off.
Just right after you cut off, I messaged already. So very much just that point.
Oh, I was just sharing the story about my father because I don't know exactly where I was cut off, but I will just summarize the whole thing. Um, I, uh, I did phone my father after my mother was telling me because I was not aware that the story that was shared or that I hear on the news that it had affected the area where they stay. But it was confirmed that he was affected, but I didn't hear the whole thing because obviously at time was the time was not enough to hear the whole thing. But obviously he was affected. He said they don't even have electricity there now. Apparently there was a huge storm that was affecting that place. It's somewhere there in Eastern Cape. But obviously he survived. But most people died in that incident. Tango Yankee 2, Kilo Alpha India. Get back to you.
That is pretty scary shit. In a storm with no electricity. Well, I heard these kind of situation in China before, and it's quite scary without electricity for a long time. Um, we had a few incident here with the power outage these days, and I was already like saying, "Oh my goodness, we live in such a modern city here, and how come it's like so unreliable these days? And you have like this broken, that broken all the time. Oh mine. Anyway, so well, we're lucky because it's not like a few days of no power. It's only all fixed within hours. But I learned that here with my computer, I definitely need a backup power for that thing, or else the computer is dead already. So we bought a UPS. It's like a backup battery for the computer, and it can keep it running for like 30 minutes. So you have like if it's a short time power outage, you can still use the computer, or you can kind of like safely turn off your computer after you realize it's power outage. So that thing, never regret buying it. Saved me so many times. So if anyone have like desktop computer, make sure you get one of those. Um, you mentioned that you went to see uh, your mom and so on. Well, remember that if you don't want to pick up their stuff and bring it to where you are and then bring it to work and all that, you better remember to do a cleanup when you are leaving. We talk about the different stages, and one of them is the middle stage, which is the power. Like the God is able to work through your body and exert the power. So you stomp your right foot to do that, right? So you can actually like, oh, I'm leaving a place, and immediately you just like close your eyes to think of the hospital zero, and then you stomp the right foot, and the intention is like you want the whole body to like flame up like on fire and whoosh, right? That way you're like cleaning up all the crap that you just picked up, and it's a really quick way to do it, and it will be very useful for many things. For example, you just went to someone's house and then you leave, right? You do a quick cleanup before you continue driving. Sometimes a lot of ye or people just deep on you a lot. it will also lead you to some bad happenings if you are aware of that. Okay, anyone else want to check in? Leaving a gap here. Anyone else want to check in?
Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf.
Okay, got you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf. Go ahead.
Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf. Yeah. Uh, I have also a quite interesting story uh, about this my family. So before even I joined Tao, I actually already cut off with my family, like my mom and my first sister. It's you know, it's like they're just trying to use me for years, you know. Right. I kind of like trying to help them to open business or anything, in Indonesia, but it's turned out everything's a lie, and everything they say is it's not true, and that kind of things, based on lie. It's uh it's hurt so much though after because they're very close to you. Uh yeah, but I keep driving, and then I just like now it's not we are like cut off. Like I'm not calling them like maybe once month or 2 months. Only say hi in like 5 minutes, and then that's it. Like nothing to talk. And I think that's helping me. When I cut off, it's helping me like I let it go, and I can move on and open my own business. And actually we have also another business in Indonesia with my second sister, which is we opened for 3 years, and everything is like tripling right now. All the profit and all the things because she's honest, and yeah, honest and trustworthy, because even every detail and small things she's reporting back to me. Uh, yeah, I'm so grateful though, because I heard so many things happen in our lineage, like a wings and like cutting off all the family, which is like toxic to us. This is a very important matter, and then I'm glad I did it. So yeah. Back to you. TY Tango Yankee 2 Delta November Golf.
Definitely. That is a very important thing for everyone. Family is really just a label sometimes. If the heart isn't there, and hey, think about it, like how old are you now? Like most of us are pretty old. I mean, we're not like old like 70s, but myself is already in the 40s. And hey, look, what did they do to me before, right? Just think about it. Like, did they actually help? Not really. When you were like in your hard times, did they help? Not really. So what have they been doing? Like, not really much. And so just because of that label, it doesn't really mean anything. So the heart is most important. Like, are they actually building the heart? And not saying like all families are bad. There could be some that are like actually good. But if yours is toxic and not good and taking advantage, then it's like you're just being stupid by sticking to it, being taken advantage of. That's something as a Taoist we need to see with our eyes of wisdom, and then cut off those the evil and toxic ones, so that we can actually have our life. It's a way to protect yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing so. Okay. Before I move back to the top, let's see if anyone else wants to check in. Okay, let's move back all the way back to the top. TY4, HA.
TY4HAA. I'm really happy that other people are kind of in the same situation, or they have some kind of contingency plan. And yes, I'm in my mid 50s, and I don't talk to my family. They don't talk to me. I don't have anything to do with them. They don't even know what I'm doing. They don't even know I'm a Taoist. I think maybe one does. But family is at this age who you decide to bring in your circle and who you qualify to have around you, regardless of blood tie. Sometimes just because they're blood tied to you, that you're, sibling, uncle, aunt, father, something like this, that doesn't necessarily qualify them to be around you now that you've developed into this. And so you have some different parameters to measure them by rather than just filial loyalty. So I would say to look at that closer. TY4HAA.
Now everyone knows how old Ha is. Still very young. You will soon just flip it around and say, "Oh, I am just 5 years old and 7 months, or 5 years old and how many months?" Yeah, going back to the situation with, like, let's say as simple as a blackout, like, power outage, um, or any kind of like that kind of situation, like, oh, suddenly no water or storm or something like that, right? Even I have experienced some big storms over there. There's one thing that I find very useful, and that is, like, when things are happening, how do you feel? And does it feel like time is very slow, or do you feel like it's kind of like nothing, and then time just flies by and you're kind of happy, and then things come back? Now, eventually it will come back, right? Like, of course, it's power outage, but maybe after a few hours, things are restored. However, there's a big difference. If you live with someone and then it's like, shit, power outage, and then you freak out, they freak out, and then, like, we argue about what to do, and then you say do this, I don't like doing that, and like, you start fighting, panicking, and then the time, it feels like every 10 minutes it feels like 2 hours. Oh, that's horrible. There are people who are like, there was a time here where we have like a very long power outage, a few days, because the elevator was water damaged, and they have to, like, kind of like stop the power or something for a few days. And there are families here that, like, get into that mode, and then they start doing very stupid things. Like, like, you see people can be like taking a dump in the bathtub, and then turn out like, ew, and then they and everything is like so stinky, so whatever, right? Like, people can get very stupid when they're panicking, and you make stupid decision, and then as you drag on, it gets even worse by the days. So if you have like a good pre-heaven energy at the back backing you up, at least, like, that thing is helping you to stay calm, and you feel secure, you feel safe, you make the right decision. Everything is bright and harmonized inside the house. No one's fighting, and most importantly, the time, it goes by feeling like it's not so long, and you don't feel like horrible. That's really good compared to those who are like already, one day of that, and the whole family kind of breaks up already because of the harmony issue in the house. Okay, let's move on to Tango Yankee 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa. Um, yeah, so I can say with some confidence that I've had that experience at the very least with allowing the Mayun Sun to help guide me. I've avoided a lot of very dangerous situations, even while I was putting myself in danger, and it all seemed miraculous. Like a lot of people who knew me, including the family, had assumed that I was protected or that lucky, blessed, however they want to put it. Um, and yeah, so I have had that experience, and I think a part of it was feeling like I had nothing else going for me except for, whatever was looking out for me. And and then of course there's the influence from Star Wars, thinking about the Force. But I can't say that when it comes to family stuff, like my mother and father, the father who raised me, they definitely have gone out of their way to look out, and I do feel like I've taken advantage of that, and I know that the family collectively has had their heart crushed multiple times because of the crazy kind of tragedies we faced. And these past couple of years, I definitely got the impression that I taxed I taxed them a bit too much, and even though I will consider them my ex-family, I do still have it as a desire to to pay back in some way for the kindness that they did extend, because if it hadn't been for them, me and Gay would have been in some pretty fucked up situations. Now, that being said, I'm not at all going to be letting anybody take advantage of us, and we've identified the lineage as our family now. So um and on a side note, I don't know if it's a side note, but I think that's part of the reason why I gravitated to Goku as an immortal, who we know now as Hu Hong Xianxia, because if a lot of people might not know this, but he came from a planet of really crazy warriors who were savage and kind of cruel, and he identifies as a Earthling, and chose to go to live a life of that was better than that, to do good. That's Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa.
I know the story. I watched the first original story when he was like a little kid. I like that period more than when he was grown up. It's more funny. Anyway, yes, definitely. Um, well, um, for people like you, with like you say, oh, we have been through a lot of bad things in our life and all that, and glad this and that. Think about it. If you're Yunsen, like provider to your life, provider to your Yunsen, if that isn't a problem, why would you be in so much shit? So why would you have all that issue? Not because of you, it's because of your parents. Uh, when the parents are bad with their Yunsan, you grow up with lots of problems that you have to face. It doesn't really have to be like they bring you into the problem. It's more like you get into the problems yourself, but it is because of their Yunsan that feed it inside to your Yunsan. That's why you got into that situation. Now, however, at the same time, ironically, your Yunsan will also try to save you from those situations as well, because that's what the Yunsan will do itself. But you're not able to stop the crap that is flowing into you from your uppers, which is the parents' Yunsan. So it's kind of like you're kind of like struggling between the two. Like one is like, oh, they are feeding me crap, and then your own Yunsen is trying to save you from the crap, and so you will be kind of like left and right like that. So now you're Taolas. You're supposed to create a life that is better and a new life pattern for yourself. So what you want for yourself is more important than what you were given when you're born. When you have that mindset going, then your life is going to be in control more than being driven. And no more surprises to crap. Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India. Yeah, that all rings true. I'm another one who had already mostly cut contact with the ex-family um, before even joining the lineage, just out of recognition that um, they've got a lot of their own issues. Um, and the fact is that I was kind of raised in an every man for himself, kind of environment. Like they brought us into the world, but it wasn't out of the desire to raise uh, healthy and capable human beings. It was mostly out of, well, I won't go into their motivations, it's not relevant. Um, even though, we've kind of drifted apart and I don't have much contact with them anymore, um, my siblings have never been toxic to me. We've all just kind of been victims of the same crap. And I do wonder if, once I am, more established in my own power and my own ability to handle the crap around me, assuming that they are not themselves by that point, totally given over to, gods and crap habits and that kind of bullshit. I wonder uh, if there is space for me to kind of go back and help them, not go back, but to bring them in and help them um, to change their luck and break free of those old patterns, or if simply our association and our shared history is enough to make that counterproductive. Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Well, I have to say, I don't know. It's too far. First of all, when will you get to that stage? I don't know. So it's up to you. What I learned from Samlo is anything could be possible. It's just that you didn't find a way to do it yet. So that's what they say to me all the time. So anything is possible. It's just that do you see that way yet? Okay. So if you want to make that happen, then try to make that happen. But just asking me, I don't know. Like I don't have any siblings or whatever I want to save, so there's no one that will make me do it. And yeah, so that I don't have the need and desire to do that. But if you do, then you can work toward that and see what happened. Okay, so I can only say, let's see what happened. After all, you're still trying to save yourself right now. So, um, for me, I would say focus everything you have into fixing your own problem first and get yourself strong, right? That's most important. Anything else, just forget about it. Just throw them somewhere else, put them somewhere else. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. If you have energy, just think about how to make the next month when your period come, right? How to make that better than last month. Put your mind on that. That's what you need. Okay. If you put your mind on thinking about others, you're also using your negative soul and you're putting that soul into them already and you're trained. So, yeah. Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
This is this is Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Sajuan, I would like to pass my turn to Ding and Kai because I know we were running short on time and they seem to have a pressing things that they want to get off their chest. Back to you, Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay. Tango Yankee 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Tango Yankee to Kilo Alpha India. Thank you, sir. Uh, I just want to think. I'm just thinking about the influence of the parents in the young son. I'm not sure how is that work. Like how will it will affect me? I'm just assuming that maybe that the the young son that I'm having, like it will influence my life based on the thing on the influence that my parents have. I'm just assuming that the things that are happening like right now, like some of them can be as a result of both my parents have given to me. So I should try to cleanse with magic and all that stuff so that I can't be affected. I'm just assuming because uh, besides that, now I'm just learning one thing now, like the people who would like to come and visit. Like not everybody in the family would like to do that. I would like to mention like the very few people, like both to my two uncles. Uh, Obviously, it's noticeable to me that like every time when they came, like I don't feel myself. I'm feeling like in my down deep in my core, like this. I'm not 100% myself. I don't know whether they are stuff they are yipping on me or whatever. I don't know, but they do like to try to visit. I don't visit everybody because of those kind of things. Because I don't understand. It's something that I've been noticing. I don't like to visit certain people because afterwards, then I won't feel like myself. I mean, in the past, I didn't know, but I'm learning that the people can affect you with their stuff. Tango Inge to Kilo Alpha, India. Back to you.
Yes, that is correct. You should be aware of your spiritual health. It's not like just, oh, I'm 30, yeah, do something spell, but it actually do affect you. When you're driving, when you're working, right? Like, why do you make stupid mistake? Why do you are so suddenly bad luck and then, have issue? It's all because of that energy that you picked up from other people. They don't even need to be bad to you, like, they might be good in terms of like their, it's like your wife, right? Like, she could be loving you, she could be like in the heart she's good to you, but that energy of her is what you call dirty. Dirty is like because they are mixed, like their energy is mixed with other people, and it become like, it's like water. You mix so many things, it become like a milky water. It's not water, it's not clear. But for Taoists, we cultivate pure, we clean up. So our water is clear. So anything that isn't clear goes into you, it makes you dirty. And then you're affected by that. So even people who might be seems to be not harmful or not bad in the mind, their energy, if like, they're not cultivating this stuff, we call them dirty. And it doesn't mean that they are like trying to curse you or anything. It's just that they don't have the kind of purity as you should have. Last one. Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf.
Yeah, Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf. Yeah, I was have an experience before. It's about the outrage, the outrage, right? The 3 day no power and no light, no water. Uh, I remember that it's in 1998, I guess. Yeah, it's a big riot in Jakarta, Indonesia. It's you know, when I go to look out to the fourth floor, it's like burning the whole city, like burning everywhere is fire. Is because it's just the people power showing up after they're like this, like the president 132 years range, so they bring him down. So I think it's by another party or something. So it's basically just burning the whole cities, and yeah, it's really scary. At the time, I was maybe about still like in the middle school. Yeah, it's really scary at that time, the moment. And then it's the riot is also looting, all the stores, and most of the do the harm is for like a racist, kind of like a racist, like a Chinese Indonesian, it's a so, and then a lot of rapping everywhere. This is really scary at that moment. So until the military showing up with a tank and everything, taking back control in the city. So yeah, this is pretty uh, where we are. No electricity, is dark. We just grouping and then make a fence, and then put like all the glass, breaking all the glass, breaking up, put all the nail on the street, so the looters not to come into our road, on the way to our village, you know, and yeah, it's pretty scary that time. So it just it's hard to see that, after that incident, like a lot of things happen behind it, like a lot of people die, a lot of people get killed, and a lot of people get raped, you know. Yeah, and then that's why a lot of people flew from the city, That kind of thing is terrifying, Yeah, back to you, Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf.
Wow, that sounds very crappy. I'm glad I don't have to go through that, but yeah, that is very scary indeed. Leading to two things I want to mention before we end the net. Well, we are talking about like prepping and all that awareness stuff, and I always quote that lay or some other disciples. I'm like, why is your phone low battery? Why is your phone battery dead? This is bad. So yeah, if you care about like all that prep stuff, right? You should look at your phone. Your phone is like most important thing for you for communication or anything, right? So don't charge it when it's like down to like 1%. Some people are like, nah, I will like use it until it dies and then I'll charge. No, that's not a good idea. Okay, always top up the phone when you see it's almost halfway. Go charge it. Don't use it until like, oh, I'm off work and then my phone is like 12%. What if shit happened during that time? And you have to run away with the phone that is at 12%. That's crazy, right? So I always keep my phone powered up to a higher percentage, especially when I'm sleeping. It got to be at least quite high to the point like you can run away with it. And there's always second option, which is the power banks and also a cable that can plug to your car. So different options, you need that. The second thing is in case people need to defend themselves in like riot situation. Um, the USA people are so into guns, but I will tell you that it is not the best option. One is because you don't want to like run out of bullets. I mean, how much bullet will you have? You can stock up, but I mean, like in terms of reloading it, real time, I don't think you can. So you have limited amount of shots, and that's not going to help. So, the rioters are kind of like zombies. So you need something that is more like, cold weapon that will actually do the job. So that's why I always like to recommend a pair of butterfly swords, not the plastic one, but the actual steel one. And they could be really useful, even for camping. So anyway, we'll see you back online and or in the NetB. It is now 2:07 p.m. We'll end the net here. 73 to all, and have a safe and happy day. We'll see you back online. Tango Yankee 9, Yankee Uniform, Echo, 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 Echo.
Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf.
Tango Yankee 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tango Yankee 2 Golf Alpha Papa.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Tango Yankee 2 Kilo Alpha India, clear.